If you're wondering why your resident soccer fan is so productive on Friday, it's because they want to get everything done so they can thoroughly enjoy Saturday and Sunday. Two massive tournaments coming to a close this weekend. Saturday, two of the best players on the planet will go head-to-head. Messi versus Neymar. Argentina takes on Brazil in the Copa America final at the Maracanã. The former Barcelona teammates each chasing their first South American title, and for Messi, essentially his last chance at major international glory. Argentina have never won a Copa or World Cup with him on the team. Over in Europe, England's entire team have never won a major trophy or even been to a major tournament final together. They'll try to fix that Sunday afternoon versus Italy, who are chasing their second European championship in their fourth final appearance. They come in as slight underdogs as of Friday morning. England sitting as the favorites. And for more on both the big games this weekend, let's now welcome in William Hill's Lee Phelps. Lee, the first question for you is, where's the England flag? Amanda wants to know.
Yeah.
Look, I'm trying to be unbiased here, make sure everyone knows that I'm not going for England for the sake of it. I've got a Brazil flag over there as well, so let's not, okay. I just thought I'd be sensible this time.
Okay, so let's talk about this England game. We go back to Euro 96. It's coming home. I've been annoying Amanda by singing it all morning. I've watched the video. It didn't come home. Germany beat the Czechs in the final at Wembley. They eliminated England along the way, but those Germany ghosts exercised at this tournament at Wembley. The penalty kick ghosts perhaps exercised in the last game as Harry Kane scores the winner in added extra time. What would it mean to England fans to make good on that horrific song and bring it home?
Yeah, we're probably a little bit, we won't admit it, but maybe we're a little bit sick of it as well. I can't even tell you what it would mean here. This is obviously our national sport. And it's been such a long time since 1966 for that, for us to do anything like this. So it would be huge. The country would kind of go into meltdown. There are people calling already for a national holiday on Monday if England win the European Championship final. So yeah, it'd be. I can't even describe what it would be like to England, and obviously, especially with what we've gone through, and without going into any politics, or the Brexit thing and all that sort of stuff. There's a lot involved in soccer over here, football as we call it. It's part of our society and part of our very being. So to win something like this is like off the scale.
Well, and there are generations of fans in England who have no idea what it would feel like because of the fact that it has been so long. So let's start talking about plays on this game. I'd be stunned if you went against England here, but for fun. Give us your play on the match.
Yeah, look, Italy have been probably the most impressive team throughout this tournament, haven't they? I know you've been on their side, and we've really enjoyed watching them. There was something I noticed. Obviously, the Austria game, they struggled a little, and in the game against Spain, I was intrigued at how many shots they allowed on their goal. 16 shots from the Spanish on the Italian goal, and at times they just sat back and let Spain have the ball, or it seemed that, or was it Spain that their passing ability and their mobility was just too much for Italy? That's the interesting thing for me here. So, and I think the Spanish were poor in front of goal for most of the tournament, really. I know they had that 5-0 win, but most of the time they couldn't finish. So I think this is an interesting one for England. We know that England have become more and more clinical. They got better and better offensively during this European Championship. And if England get anything like 16 shots on goal, England will convert. So that's the reason I'm thinking, or one of the key reasons why I'm thinking England have got an edge here. They've got home advantage as well, of course. They've got a huge fan base, which will drive them on. I think this England team have shown that they're kind of a family together, and they've grown through the tournament. And the other thing that I think is interesting is that Italy have had 2 extra time matches, and in between that, they played a very tough game against Belgium. I think England have had a much easier route to the final, not only in terms of the teams that they've played. For instance, coming up against Denmark when they'd already peaked, really. Coming up against the Ukraine team who looked defeated and had a really tough game against Sweden before that. So I think England will be the fresher team. And if this goes into extra time, I think it will, I wonder about that centre-back partnership for Italy. We've heard so much about them, but we also know that they're getting on a bit, as we say over here. And I think if we get through to extra time, I think that's when England could make the difference. And my play actually is England to win the whole thing, but to win it in extra time at plus 1,000, which is a huge price. Who'd be surprised if this went into extra time? 2 very good defensive teams. It could be tight. So, you could easily see a 1-1 draw in normal time. Extra time, England have got the more legs. They're able to bring better players on because England's bench is better than Italy's, I think. and England get the edge in extra time. Plus 1,000, huge price, I think.
Yeah, and when you look at both of these teams, as you mentioned, I mean, from front to back, they're just stacked. And then the teams themselves have such a camaraderie amongst each other. You talked about England. We saw the video from when Spinazzola tore his ACL and how the Italian fans or how the Italian players reacted, all coming over to him at the private dinner that they had. I mean, both of these teams really have a cohesiveness to them. So when we talk about goals in this game, it's been interesting because for most of the tournament, I mean, it's largely been 2.5 over under the whole tournament. Here, it drops to 1.5. So what's your play on the total?
Yeah, look, I think in the 90 minutes, I could think we could be looking at the unders on the goals. No problem with that at all. Like I say, I've already kind of intimated I like the 1-1. So I think both teams could score here. But there's only one England game in 90 minutes that's gone over. That's the 4-0 win against Ukraine, and we know Italy can be pretty tight as well. So wouldn't be surprised at all to play the unders. But some of the prices aren't so great. Both teams to score, it's not the worst price in the world here. You're getting plus 110 about that, and that would land if you got a 1-1 draw, of course, in normal time, or a victory for either side with both teams scoring. So I think both teams will score, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's unders, if that makes sense. So under 2.5, both teams to score. I like the 1-1 in normal time.
Okay, so let's talk about player props. I mean, looking at the scoring charts, Cristiano Ronaldo is still in line to win the Golden Boot here. Unless, of course, Harry Kane gets a goal in the final, then he would tie with Ronaldo at 5 goals. You have Raheem Sterling, who's been one of the players of the tournament. He's got 3 goals, so if he pops in a couple, then he also joins that race. And then for Italy, I mean, you look at they've got a lot of great scorers on that team, and I mean, Chiesa's been hot. So in terms of a player prop for this game, give us what you're looking at.
Yeah, really interesting. I think Harry Kane plays for the team, obviously, but he'd love the Golden Boot in another tournament. They decide this by assists. So Cristiano Ronaldo on 5, but he's got 1 assist. Harry Kane would need to score a goal and get an assist, or score 2 goals to win this outright. And that's how it would work from a betting point of view. Could do that. I don't think he will do that, but I'm with Raheem Sterling here to score. I mean, I think he could win the player of the tournament. Easy. I think he's been a sensational player. If England win it, I think he is the player of the tournament. You look at him in that last game, he should have scored when Schmeichel made that point-blank save. He then should have scored again, if not the defender putting it in, Mr. Own Goal, getting his 11th goal of the tournament. So, Raheem Sterling is always in the right place. He's making these runs. He's getting himself into a position where, he can score. And I think the William Hill odds boost has him as the first goal scorer here, plus 900. That's again, for a player who is in position to score often, plus 900, first goal scorer, William Hill odds boost. Again, huge price. I think it's just a really, really good price, and I'd have to play that with Raheem Sterling in the form that he's in at the moment.
Okay, so Raheem Sterling to score the first goal of the match at plus 900. Okay, let's talk about the Copa America final, the first meeting between Brazil and Argentina since 2007 in the Copa America. It's really now or never for Lionel Messi, 5th final for Argentina in the Messi era. He's been incredible in this tournament, 4 goals, 5 assists. Like England, Brazil are the favorites here at home. So what's your play on this Titanic clash, and what do you like in terms of the goal total as well?
Yeah, look, I think Brazil have got a bit of a sign over Argentina in competitive games. Argentina haven't won a competitive head-to-head since like the mid-2000s. It's a long, long time. They do okay in friendlies, but when it matters, it's the Brazilians who usually come out on top here. And I think they've got the edge here again. I think Brazil have got more players who are just at the peak of their powers at the moment. Obviously Argentina have got sensational players as well. Not least I love Lionel Messi. I'd love him to win this, but I just think Brazil plus 120 would be the play. And I think it'll be a tight game. Under 2.5 on the goals is plus 270. That's a big old price. The last 4 head-to-heads under 2.5 goals would have landed. I expect Argentina to make this tough, make it a pretty nasty game. We know how these South American games can go. It can be very nip and tuck, and I think Argentina will make it difficult. But I'm playing under 2. I wouldn't put anyone off the under 1.5 and going for a Brazil 1-0 victory, to be honest. But yeah, I'm going under 2.5. I think it's a good price, plus 270.
I loved how you phrased that there between these two teams. The last time they faced each other, I mean, in 2019, after Brazil won the Copa, there was 46 fouls in that game. So, I mean, you phrased it rather nicely. Okay, let's talk about the player props. I mean, Messi and Neymar, low-hanging fruit, both unbelievable in this tournament. Or is there someone else you're eyeing in this game?
Yeah, someone else, actually. I mean, look, I wouldn't put anyone off looking at those players. They're sensational and can turn a match at any point. But I mean, I think you've got to look at Lucas Paqueta here. Anytime plus 380. Scored in the quarterfinal, scored in the semi-final. I mean, what's not to like? You know, at a price like that, it's a far bigger price than you can get for Messi or Neymar. Obviously, you know, they're the guys who you would look to. But yeah, Lucas Paqueta, you know, when I saw the price, I was kind of scrolling down on the William Hill Sportsbook, looking for his name, and I kept going down and down. I was thinking, how big a price is he? Plus 380. Yeah, I'm in. Lucas Paqueta, and that's not first. That's any time in the game as well. He's been decisive in the quarterfinal, in the semi-final. What's to say he doesn't make it 3 out of 3 and decisive in this game as well?
Lee, thanks very much for everything. Good luck on Sunday. Hopefully,
No, Jeremy.
it's coming home. Hopefully.
What is that, Jeremy?
Let's take Lee's recap here. He likes England to win in extra time at plus 1,000. I mean, really, if all of these pay out, based on what Lee was saying about the odds this weekend, you can make a fair amount of money because he says some of these numbers are a little bit on the ridiculous side. England in extra time, of course. Both teams to score, plus 110. Raheem Sterling at plus 900, yes please. And Brazil to win in under 2.5 goals, plus 270, 46 fouls the last time they met. Come on.
So if I parlay some of this, could I pay you to never do that dance again?
Maybe.
Good.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.